Here we are. So just give me a thumbs up. Okay. Hey, everybody. It's Premier Gal here, and I'm here with John Parker with FilmConvert.
Hi, nice to meet everybody. Good to be here. It's my first time at NAB. Film has been coming here a couple of years, but this is my first experience, so yeah, it's all exciting.
Yeah. And he came from New Zealand, and I've actually used their plugin several times on many of my tutorials. I actually did a tutorial on FilmConvert last fall, so I'm excited to hear that you guys are working on a new product. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. We're doing a initial kind of product demo today. It's in very early stages. We're not even calling it a product yet. It's basically a proof of concept, but it's kind of exciting for us because 3 months ago it was just on a whiteboard. Now it's actual code. It's called Cinematch, and it is to basically solve one of the hardest problems in color grading, which is camera matching. And for people like you who are doing live events, when you have multiple cameras, you often know that they do they represent color differently, no matter how much you kind of white balance and try and correct them. What we're doing is coming up with a solution to basically fix that problem really quickly and easily, so you can go out, shoot a wedding or a live event or even a documentary if you've got an A cam and then some B cam footage, chuck all of that on your timeline, throw on Cinematch. It's going to match the colors of those two different cameras very quickly and very easily. And yeah, we're kind of excited about it. We're going to be showing it to some partners this week. And yeah, if you want to go to cinematch.com, you can find out more.
That's awesome. And in terms of FilmConvert, I've had a couple people ask me, since Lumetri color panels come out, like, what is FilmConvert's like step up from Lumetri, and sort of how do you develop the what is that process like?
Sure, yeah. So FilmConvert is a product that we're best known for, and it does film emulation. So it's about taking your digital video and making it look more film-like, more cinematic. So a lot of people use it in conjunction with Lumetri. They'll do some basic kind of color tweaks in Lumetri and then put FilmConvert on to get the kind of film look. And the thing that makes our film look kind of work better, that people really appreciate, is that we take actual film stocks and we shoot them in a test suite. So we've taken old Kodak footage, Fuji, Polaroid, Ilford. We shoot it in a test grade suite, and then we do the same thing with the cameras. So each camera profile is actually customized to that film stock, so you get a much better, more accurate kind of color rendition and something that's far more film-like. Then it's not just like sepia tone and kind of lower the dynamic range. It really does kind of bring out the colors of film.
And you guys have a sale right now. It's 25% off for a week.
Yep, that's right. It goes through till Sunday. We only do 2 sales a year, and this is our sixth one. So if you're interested in FilmConvert, this is a really good week to get in and try it out. We also offer a free, fully functional demo of the software. So if you want to just download it, try it out for a few days, see whether you like it, we'd invite you to do so.
And just a little bit of history here. Like, were you the founder of FilmConvert? Like, how did it develop?
The founder of FilmConvert's just over there. His name's Craig Herring. He came up with the idea about 4 or 5 years ago, and they worked on it for a good year and a half, just sourcing film stocks, designing the camera profiles, learning a lot about, there's a whole bunch of research and development to find out how camera sensors actually represent color, because it's not that, obviously the camera companies keep it very secret. They don't want to give out how they work. So we basically kind of had to reverse engineer each camera sensor, and not only that, but each picture style as well. So, lots of cameras shoot in various flavors of log now, and that's yet another thing that you have to kind of de-log footage before you can convert it to another profile. So they spent kind of a year and a half just doing that, and then launched the first version thinking it was going to be a fairly niche thing. They were expecting kind of high-end people to want to get this film look, and filmmakers just jumped on it. They really loved it, so they've adopted it. And we especially see a lot of people who are interested in like wedding filmmakers, people doing documentaries, people who want to really kind of classic look to their images. They're the ones who kind of gravitate towards FilmConvert, because it really is, it's that old school kind of look. It'll never go out of fashion. It takes all kind of harsh edges of digital, and yeah, we're blown away by how much people just love the product and keep coming back.
That's fantastic. And I think that you guys are giving away a license right now with this Ask Al Live, so you guys can enter the lottery if you ask a question. I'm actually going to see if anybody is online right now asking a question. I forgot to double check before. We'll see.
We hope you do. It's going to be for the FilmConvert bundle. It's going to be for the FilmConvert bundle. We have plugins for all the editors out there in all operating systems. So Premiere, obviously, but also if you have Final Cut Pro, Avid, DaVinci Resolve. Our software works with all of those.
So let's see here in the live chat. Some people just said, hey, I'm looking like a boss. Thank you. Cool hat. Quality video. Sweet. You guys don't have any questions for FilmConvert? Come on, you guys. We're here, and if you ask a question, you get entered in the lottery to get a free bundle, which is awesome. There's also heaps of other prizes as well. I think over like $3,000 worth, which is pretty great. So I actually have a question. So what is your favorite filter or film stock?
That's a tough one. There's Kodak 5207, which is a kind of classic motion picture stock. It's been used on everything. I think Star Wars was shot on it. Kind of those kind of classic 70s movies. That's my favorite. It has a warm kind of look, more kind of orangey, and that seems to be one of the most popular ones that people go for. And I particularly like that look.
And what has been like one of your favorite uses? Like, is there any particular video that you were like, wow, they really used that to the advantage?
There's actually we have a whole bunch of user showcases. We'd like to showing people what people are doing. So if you look for hashtag FilmConvert on any kind of social media, you'll find examples there. This amazing one that I just saw yesterday or a couple days ago. So someone shot an entire commercial on their iPhone, and we have an iPhone profile. But the thing that he did, it's all low light, and so he's used a lot of neon and fluorescent things. And I thought it was going to be like really grainy and really dark, but he's done an amazing job. And and then he put FilmConvert on as kind of final kind of look for the thing. He's 20 years old. It's based in Helsinki, Finland, and check it out on our blog. It's up there now. It's just for what you can do with the technology and mobile phones now. It's just phenomenal.
And Andrea asked, is FilmConvert just a coloring tool? And Andrea, I'll let John answer this more, but it's a plugin that allows you to apply film stock effects to video. But I'll let you sort of add to that. Maybe she missed the beginning of our conversation.
Sure. No, that's exactly what it is. Film emulation. The other thing it does that people really value, it adds film grain as well. So not just the film kind of color, but also, and it's not just a grain layer or like a digital, like a static noise layer. It's actually computed based off the film stock. So it's far more accurate and it looks a lot more realistic than some film grains out there. And you can also, if you just want the film grain but not the color, you can kind of apply them separately. So yeah, that's yet another. We know that just for the film grain is used on some quite high-end like cable TV series that you will probably know or have heard of on AMC and things like that. They use FilmConvert just for the film grain because they really like the look of it.
And somebody asked here, CBR Network Studio, are there picture profiles or camera profiles for mobile devices?
We have a camera profile for the iPhone. It's used in conjunction with the Filmic Pro app. So if you get the Filmic Pro app and you shoot in any of their standard dynamic flat or their log profiles, you can then use FilmConvert on top of that. And yeah, that works just great.
Fantastic. What are the PC minimum requirements as they're new to the freelance video editing?
Sure. Any basically modern PC from the past kind of 4 or 5 years will work just fine. The main thing you're going to want is a decent video card for kind of all video editing. FilmConvert takes a lot of does a lot of hardware acceleration, so you're going to want probably an NVIDIA card with at least 2 gigs of video RAM.
And I'll take one more question, and then I'm going to move on to Soundstripe right after that. They're standing right behind me here. Let's see here. Does FilmConvert produce film look without the use of other tools like Lumetri Color?
Yes, it does. You can apply FilmConvert just on its own. Just basically select which camera you use to shoot it on, drop on FilmConvert, and some people are just so happy with it, just leave it as that, no other tweaks. It does have color wheels, it does have exposure control, it does have color temperature if you want to play with those, but about 80% of the time you can drop FilmConvert on and it's just going to look perfect.
Yeah, I was going to add to that too. Like, you can really customize the filters themselves, or the film stocks. Like, you can reduce the amount of grain that you want if it's too grainy. It's very versatile. So you guys should definitely watch my tutorial. I think I put a card on this YouTube video that will link directly to the video. But thanks so much for your questions, and we're about to start with Soundstripe in just a moment. Thanks so much, John.
Thanks very much. Great to be here, and have a great show.
Great. See you guys soon. All right. Hey, you guys, I'm here with Micah, the co-founder and co-CEO or CEO of Soundstripe, and I'm going to ask him a few questions about Soundstripe here, which is basically unlimited music for your films, and you can sign up for a monthly plan, which is only $10 per month. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and if you want to ask any questions live, you can actually win a free annual membership for Soundstripe. So Micah, tell me a little bit about how Soundstripe got started.
Oh man, okay. So my business partner and I were co-producers. So we're doing artist records in Nashville. Everybody's got a studio in their backyard, so we didn't feel like that was a good business model. So we started composing for advertisements, jingles, Colgate, pitching for those deals. And that game is, oh man, you're on a list of 1,000 other composers, right? When you land the sync, it's like thousands and thousands of dollars, but most times you don't. So we ended up with a pile of tracks that weren't useful unless they were behind film. So that's kind of the idea where we got to, is like, well, these don't have any value unless they're behind video. So we said, well, let's try to figure out licensing. So we started a little website, didn't know what we were doing for about 3 years. A lot of failures later. We came up with a model for $10 a month for high output content creators that might be low budget, so things like Instagram or wedding videographers, things like that.
Right on. And I've explored the site. I love your browser where you can sort of search for music. You can sort of type in whatever pace you want, the style. How did you sort of come up with that model? Did you sort of like think about the user and be like, what's the easiest way for us to figure out how to find the best music?
Sure. That was...
Not you?
That was a combination. No. That was the three of us. Yeah, we feel like this might sound counterintuitive, but the best, good artists borrow, best artists steal. So what we did was we looked at different industries, different tech industries, and saw what they were doing for their search and filter. And we saw a few times there was this kind of structure of like just build a sentence. And we thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if you could just say, I want a kind of track that feels like this kind of mood and this kind of genre. So for 8 months, all I did was try to figure out how to quantify human emotion. So this song feels warm.
Yeah, I mean, the soundtrack, audio's half the picture, and film is such an emotional medium. So, when I'm searching for music, I'm like, I need that specific tone,
Right. And that was, that's the biggest struggle for us. As much as we grow and we add more music, it's always the two biggest things where I can't find what I need, and it takes me forever to find that track. So for us, search and filter is really, really huge, and that's really where we came up with doing curated playlists, where it was like, and honestly, 80% of our browsers, our users, that's how they browse our site, is just through our playlists that we create for moments. Yeah.
And somebody just asked, how does Soundstripe compare to other subscriptions like audio blocks?
So how do we compare? There's a few other subscription services out there. Both are awesome. I think we're big fans of Video Blocks, Audio Blocks. Their CEO, Joel, is a freaking genius. For us, we offer a monthly plan. That's a little different. I would say the biggest difference between us and the other subscription services is we're based in Nashville. So all of our content comes from producer-composers that have been in the industry for many, many, many years, and we're in the same boat we were in, pitching for these major brands and getting their back catalogs up into Soundstripe. The content is something, every site is different, and I believe, I'm a little partial, I feel like our content is the best a little bit, you know what I mean?
And so can people become composers? Like, how do they sign up? Like, how does it work? Do they get royalties off of downloads? How does it work?
Yeah, so again, because we started, the founders of the company were producer-composers, artist compensation is really, really huge for us. We always said we want to provide opportunity, not take it away. So for us, yes, you can apply to be a composer with us, but we have a very, very tight gate whether or not you're going to get in or not. So quality and curation is the name of our game. And the more, as a subscription business, if we add a composer, it means everybody else's pay goes down. So we're very, very careful about who we add.
Okay. And somebody actually just said a fun fact. Gal actually means crazy in Norwegian. Which is great. So another question is, are there heavy metal songs up there? I need some serious angsty stuff.
Seriously, angsty stuff. You know what? Truthfully, we don't have any metal anything in there. It's not a genre we focused on. Apparently, we need to start.
Yeah.
You know, it's hilarious. For 8 years, I toured with heavy metal bands.
Oh, really?
So there's no reason I can't.
So you're a musician yourself?
Yeah. I'm a guitar player. I was a traveling guitar player for 8 years. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm trying to think of another question I have. Like, is there anything that you guys have planned? Like, I know that I would love if you guys had a Premiere Pro panel where I could browse Soundstripe within Premiere Pro. Is that something that's on your radar that you'd like to create?
Absolutely. So for us, we're still very young. We've been open for 14 months. We're still a baby company. We're very, very, very grateful to be here at NAB and grateful for this interview with you.
Thanks for making an awesome platform.
Oh, man. Gosh, thank you. So for us, yes, in the future, as we grow, we have one tech person, one guy. We're about to hire our second. So for us, what we do, plugins and an API integration into the back end of our site. That's honestly primarily why we're here, to start talking to people about, how could we best serve you with our catalog. Yeah.
See if there's anything else here. Who are the composers of Soundstripe?
Oh, man, our dear friends and family, honestly. So one guy off the top of my head, his name's Adrian Waller. Nicest guy in the world. He's from Canada originally. He's lived in Nashville.
Lots of Canadians here.
Yeah. He's the best guy in the world. He comes up to the office a couple times a month and we just kick it. Matt Wigton's a dear friend of mine. These are all friends. Nashville's a really small, big town. There's a lot of talent. It's really condensed. And the community's really small. So once we started this and people saw the vision and saw where it was going, all we had to do was just make a few phone calls, and we're up to 75 composers now.
Fantastic. And I also wanted to remind you guys watching that if you do ask any questions, you can get entered in the lottery to win a full Soundstripe membership, and there's going to be actually 13 giveaways. So in addition to Soundstripe membership, there's like heaps of other awesome prizes. I think it's almost $3,000 worth. So you should definitely ask a question. So what is sort of the future? What do you envision the future of Soundstripe? Let's say like 5 years from now.
Oh man, that's a big
Deep questions.
That's big. Okay, first thing is probably next year. I'm going to just go year by year. Next year, we want a full booth here at NAB, and we want to bring a giraffe. Don't you feel like if you were walking and saw a giraffe, you would stop?
You know that you can have an emotional support animal and bring it in legally, a miniature horse.
To anywhere. And I got a little dog, and he's my emotional support thing. So I get to fly with him for free. It's awesome.
That's like Premier Pup, my dog. I brought him here with me, but he can come in here because it's a little bit crazy. So.
See, and that's the thing. If we got a giraffe in here, that would be amazing. So giraffe next year. Let's see, year 5. You know what we would like to see? Our customer care is something that's really highly important to us. There's a lovely woman named Danielle Summers who's the head of our customer care department. If you go onto our website, there's a little chat box there. 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, she's there to help you. What we want to see happen is for our user base, obviously, to grow like crazy so we can really stimulate the creative economy and provide a resource at a price people can afford in a really big way, but not lose the personal touch of what we have right now. Like we get to send personalized videos to each new member, and we send out random gifts to people like when they have babies and just stuff like that. We want it to feel like that mom and pop, like we're here for you, we'll help you find music when you're on a crunch. So for us, that's a challenge, because if we have 100,000 paying subscribers, to treat each one with a personal relationship, that's going to be a challenge, but that's what I'd like to see for sure.
Well, people ultimately just want good music, you know, and the gift is your music, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So Yeah, so I mean, I'm so excited that I had you on here, and I think that you guys should definitely check out Soundstripe. It's by far the most affordable and awesome library that I found. And if you do enter the lottery and you don't get it, you can still sign up and get 10% off with my promo code. I think it's GAL10. I think I left a link in the description box below. But thanks so much, Micah. Yeah.
Thank you. This is awesome. I love it.
And tomorrow I'm doing a live stream for 2 hours actually in South Hall with a bunch of other vendors such as Adobe, Seagate, Digital Anarchy, Phatek, Logic Keyboard. So many, I could just name them.
Time. I love it.
But yeah, it was so nice to meet you. And
well.
yeah, we'll see each other around.
Awesome. I'm
Yeah,
into
thanks
it.
so much for tuning in, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Tuesday.